Hey guys, here with a bit of a planting video. I got my avocado. I had an avocado here, but I planted it too late in the season. And the season for planting avocados, I find from trial and error, you don't want to plant them in summer because they need heaps of water and they seem to just get sunburnt and dry up, and it's not good for them. I find planting them sort of now, autumny time, is when the soil's still warm and we're starting to get some rains and some moisture in the soil. So I've got my variety Sharp avocado. I like doing different stuff, but I also thought I would try a different rootstock. So this rootstock on this one is pretty much like water and root resistant, I guess. Well, not water resistant, but root resistant. So it won't get colour rot, any of that sort of stuff. There's also a root disease. It escapes my brain at the moment, but it pretty much smashes the avocado industry. Anyway, I just thought I'd show you what I normally do to plant an avocado. I only put 3 things first when I water it in and all that sort of stuff, and then the rest it just comes down to positioning and all the mulch I've already got. So with avocados, you really want full sun, but for the first 2-3 years you want to shade it out with things. This is what I've done with the tomatoes on the trellising here, and yeah, full sun, because they are technically a tropical rainforest plant. So you got to imagine when they're little, they're at the bottom of the canopy, and then 2-3 years time they get tall enough where they're out in full sun. So I'll show you how I do it, really. So we want to keep this because you want to know what you've got. I take these off because these always strangle the plant, these little plastic things. You always forget about them, and then a couple of months down the track they give you grief. Alright, so it's pretty much ready to go. I'll leave it there. We've got our hole. I did it with my power planter. I've got some banana roots coming through, which is perfectly fine. We've got our soil that's looking quite nice now. I've got my first stuff that I put down is charcoal. The reason I put charcoal down is it hangs on. I just put a big handful in. The more the merrier with this stuff. The biological surface area of charcoal is massive. It's very porous. That's why they use it for filters, all sorts of stuff. All right. I'll open this. People go, they go really gentle with these plastic bags because they don't want to cut the roots or anything. If the roots are not too bound up, it doesn't really matter. So this is pretty good. You don't want to tickle it too much, but you want to tell it it's somewhere else. So we've got a bit of brown. That's not good, but pretty good. I'm going to take these weeds away. So we do not want that. That's the seed of the graft. That's where they pop out from. Alright. I like to just make it so it thinks it's out of the pot. Now, with trees, they have always 2 sides, a back and a front. You want to put the front to the sun and the back obviously not to the sun. Now you might think, oh, he's planted it very deep, but I find if you plant these 2 high up, so that's my hand, well that's that, the surface roots, they're like a lemon tree. They love nutrients, and if you have it too high, sorry, the surface roots won't get what they want. They'll just be dry all the time and unable to get nutrients. Anyway, I just shake it around, put my hands through, kind of just stick it in. See, it's still, you don't want to go up to that green, but you want a bit of a bowl. Any sort of rain or whatever comes in, that's all good. Now, so you come up here, I'll get this out of the way, and you've got the graft joint. They've got this plastic stuff. That's what they graft it with. So this is the rootstock, and this is the avocado species that they want to propagate. And maybe down the track I'll do a grafting, how to graft. So you want to pick that off, because that'll choke the tree out as well, and you don't want that. It does break down eventually. It's not the end of the game if you leave it on, but you want the tree to do its best. Sometimes it can be tricky. All right, so now I only water them once because I got so much mulch that holds all the moisture. So what I got in here is a bit of liquid fish or liquid seaweed. You know, it can be whatever you would like, sort of thing. The other thing I put in is a product called smoke condensate, and that is from smoke water. It's got carrageenans in it and all sorts of things that makes plants go, oh man, I've just been through a fire, I better put some growth on. So that always helps. And the other two are just for really transplant shock. So yeah, I just water them once. That charcoal will soak up this stuff as well, because the charcoal at the bottom, it has massive, I think every square centimetre, it's got the surface area of a football field, something ridiculous like that. So plenty of space for microorganisms and all sorts of stuff. So this is just 9 litres, water it once, forget about it really. This is why you do it at this time of year. If you did it in summer, you'd be watering it every day, and you'd be going, Luke, why did you tell me to plant it in summer? But you know, I didn't. Now I got this because you want it to go straight. Tie it up. You don't want it to go indeterminate as a tree, so at the moment I'm going to have to tie it up later, but that's pretty much how we're going to have it, just like that. So all I can say is get an avocado in your backyard, try it out, cover it for the first couple of years, and then take the covers away and let it go for it. Enjoy avocado on toast.